I felt the closet begin to shake, the boards vibrating. A loud crack popped one of the hinges loose. I pulled Ashley farther back. We were trapped. The creature on the bed stood up. 1 second it was lying down, the next it was standing, staring at us. Then we heard "come out." That's when out of nowhere, we heard the sound of a car. Headlights on, horn blaring. The creature by the bed turned its head. It paused and vanished. Just disappeared. Like it was never there. The house stopped shaking. The air started flowing again. I slowly opened the closet door. Ashley looked at me in shock. The porch light was back on. And outside, there was a car. Someone had come. But who? We left the closet slowly. The bedroom was still dark. No presence, no strange noise, just the sound of a car idling outside. Ashley looked at me. I grabbed her hand and we walked to the bedroom door. I opened it slowly. The hallway was empty. We crossed the living room and reached the front door. The porch light really was on. Outside, by the wooden fence, was a white car. A man stood next to it, holding a flashlight pointed at the ground. It was exactly what we needed to see. I unlocked the door without thinking and opened it. The porch light revealed the man's face. Early 40s, patchy beard, baseball cap from the local team. He jumped when he saw us rush out. "Everything okay in there?" "You need to get us out of here, now," was all I could say. He looked around, visibly confused. "You were in that house?" Ashley just nodded, clinging to my arm. "There's something inside. Please start the car." The man didn't ask any more questions. He opened the driver's door and got in. We followed right behind. As the car backed up to turn around, Ashley looked out the window and murmured, "They're not there anymore." I looked too. The front of the house was empty. The van, the two men, gone. "We need to get off this road," I said, looking behind us. The guy stepped on the gas and headed back the way he came. "Name's Mike," he said, trying to ease the tension. "I just came to check if someone needed help. Saw lights flickering from the road." I wanted to thank him, but all I could think was, why did the lights come back on? Who turned them on? The car rolled on in silence. The forest on either side looked darker than before. Ashley leaned her head on my shoulder. I kept my eyes on the road. Then I noticed the route. "You took the wrong turn," I said. Mike glanced at the rearview mirror. "Huh? No, this is how I came." "No, it's not. This road, it leads to the other side of the hill. There's nothing over there." The GPS lost signal. The screen went black. Mike's face turned serious. "Crap, that's never happened before." I pulled out my phone. No signal either. Again. "Stop the car," I said. "Let's go back to the main road." Mike slowed down. "I swear I came this way. I'm not crazy." But the forest began to change. The trees looked more twisted, denser. A fog began to rise from the ground again. Ashley lifted her head. "We're back." Mike let out a nervous laugh. "Back where?" I looked out the window. I didn't want to believe it. But there it was. The same house. The house in the middle of nowhere. Like we had gone in a circle. "This can't be happening," I muttered. "I saw you drive away. I saw it." Mike turned off the car. Nobody said a word. We all stared at the house, the porch light still on. "Maybe it's some kind of prank," he said. But we knew it wasn't a prank. It was the place, the house, the road, the forest. Some kind of trap. And then the front door of the house opened. No one came out. But the door stayed ajar, slowly swinging with the wind. The porch light flickered once, then again. Mike locked the car and turned to us. "Nobody gets out, got it?" Ashley squeezed my hand tightly. I couldn't stop staring at that door. The silence inside the car was thick. Mike pulled out his phone. No signal either. Everything was dead. Even the dashboard clock was reset. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. But the tension kept growing. I started feeling sick, dizzy. Ashley pressed her forehead against the window. "It's getting hot in here." Mike tried turning on the AC, but the controls didn't respond. Then a thin smoke began to seep from the vents. A dark smoke, smelling like burnt metal. "Out of the car," I shouted. We all flung the doors open and jumped out, coughing. The air outside was clearer. I looked at the house. The door was still open, but now there was someone on the porch. A still figure, silent, facing away from us. But it wasn't one of the men from the van, not the creature from the room either. The figure slowly turned its head. It had no eyes, just dark holes, and yet I felt it looking straight at me. Ashley stepped back. Mike grabbed something from the glove box. A pocket knife. It seemed ridiculous against that presence, but it was all we had. The figure took a step, then another. The wooden boards creaked rhythmically. "Back in the car," I shouted. But the car was on fire from the inside. Flames that didn't come out. They burned from within. Ashley screamed. Mike froze. I grabbed Ashley and pulled her the opposite way. We ran, not knowing where. Just running away from that place. That house. That thing. And from the horrible truth that hit me. We never should have called that Uber. We ran with no direction, guided only by instinct to survive. That's when I realized Mike wasn't with us anymore. The forest felt even tighter. I could hear Ashley's breathing. Every step felt like running through a nightmare. Her scream made me turn instantly. She had tripped and fallen to her knees. I ran back and lifted her in my arms. "I can run," she said, breathless, but I knew she couldn't. I carried her a few more meters until we reached a clearing. And then everything went quiet again, just like before the creature appeared. I stopped, looked around, and in the middle of the silence, a sound. A whisper. Low. Unintelligible. I sat Ashley down and turned to try and figure out where it was coming from. The trees were completely still, but the whispers grew louder, as if we were surrounded by invisible voices. "Brandon," she murmured, pointing to something behind me. I turned and saw it. There, between two trees, was a mirror. Yes, a large old mirror with a golden frame. But the reflection, it didn't show us. It showed the house, the living room, the door still open, and someone inside. A shadow moving closer to the mirror, like it knew we were watching. It made no sense, no logic, no rational explanation. Ashley slowly got up and took 2 steps toward it. "Don't get close," I shouted, but it was like she was hypnotized. I touched her shoulder, and she turned to me. "Brandon, he's there." "Who?" "The driver." The mirror now showed Ryan, standing in the middle of the living room, staring directly at us, just watching. But his eyes were completely black and bleeding. A loud crack made us turn back to the forest. The mirror shattered on its own without anyone touching it. Glass exploded in all directions, but none of it hit us. On the ground, the shards still reflected the living room of the house, even broken. I grabbed Ashley and said, "Let's go. We have to get out." We followed an improvised trail between bushes. The path looked brighter ahead, and then the road, paved with poles, though the lights were off, a sign of civilization. I almost cried. We walked about 1,000 feet until we saw a sign. Pine Hill, 2 miles. A real place, a real name. I knew Pine Hill, a small town, but it existed. "We're close, let's go." We kept walking. For the first time, I felt like we might escape. Ashley leaned on me. She was exhausted. So was I. But we couldn't stop. Around a bend, we saw a gas station. Lights on. A man cleaning a windshield in the parking lot. We ran there. The man looked up, startled. "Are you guys okay?" he asked, walking toward us. "We need help. A phone, a police car, anything." He took us inside the store. It was lit up, full of food, water, and cameras. One of the monitors showed something that froze me. On the screen from camera 3, pointing to the back of the station, was a black van. The same one, that damn van. But on the video, it was empty. No movement, no one. "How long has that van been there?" I asked. The attendant replied, "Showed up about 15 minutes ago. Nobody got out." I looked at Ashley. She got it. We might have left the forest, but that thing, that evil, had come with us. The attendant called the police, asked for backup, said there was a young couple in distress and a suspicious van parked out back. While he talked, I walked up to the store window and looked outside. The van was still there, and now the back door was open. A shadow emerged from the side like living smoke. "We have to leave. This place isn't safe either," I said. "But where to?" A squad car showed up in 5 minutes. 2 officers got out, guns drawn, told us to stay inside. They approached the van. When they opened the sliding door, nothing, empty. They searched everything, found no one, no prints, no ID, just claw marks inside the metal floor, like something had torn its way out. One of the officers came back and asked, "Is this the van that was following you?" I nodded. "Not exactly." "What do you mean?" "What followed us isn't there anymore." I looked back at the monitor. The camera showing the parking lot now had interference. The other feeds were normal. Just that one, offline. And on the inside of the glass window, something began to form. Fog. Like a breath. A circle. Then another. Slowly forming. 2 eyes. 2 red eyes. I could only say one thing. It's in. And in that instant, all the lights in the station went out. Darkness swallowed the gas station. Lights off. The sound of the freezer gone. Everything silent. Ashley screamed, and I grabbed her hand. The clerk started yelling in the dark, but his voice quickly went silent. A dull thud, like something dropped him. I couldn't see much, but I could hear the hum. But deeper now. Ashley trembled beside me, and I tried to think anything, but my mind was broken. And then right in front of me, that red glow appeared. The eyes, the entity, inside the store. I don't know if it walked or floated, but it came toward us, distorting everything around it. Shelves twisted, the ceiling felt lower. I dragged Ashley behind the counter, tripping over something, the clerk's body. He was still breathing but unconscious. I laid Ashley down and said, "Stay here, don't move." She nodded, crying. I stood up, searching for anything I could use. I found a fire extinguisher, held it tight in both hands, waiting. But the thing didn't come. It vanished, evaporated. The sound stopped. Silence returned. A while later, the lights flickered back. A siren in the distance. The squad car was still outside. I ran to the door and opened it slowly. One of the officers, the older one, stood by the vehicle, but frozen, completely still. I stepped out and walked up to him. "Sir?" He didn't answer, just stared ahead, like he'd been paralyzed. And then I saw what he was staring at. The road, right there, was warped, twisted like paper. And at the end, the van, and behind it, the creature. It didn't need to move. The distortion came from it. The second officer ran out of the forest, dirty, wide-eyed. "There's more of them," he shouted. "There's more of them in the woods." He tripped and fell. I rushed to help him, and he grabbed my arm. "They're not human." He was shaking. "They get inside your head." I pulled him to the car and looked back at the road, but the van was gone, and with it, everything. Ashley came out of the store helping the clerk. He was waking up slowly. We helped him sit on the curb. No one spoke, all in silence. The squad car finally started. The radio too. The younger cop began calling for backup, but static kept cutting in. And in the middle of the static, a voice, deep, slow, saying just one thing, "You belong to me." Over and over again, the squad car took us to the Pine Hill station. It was a real town, real people, normal places. When we arrived, they separated us, asked questions, brought a doctor, tried to understand. But how could we explain it? How could we tell what happened without sounding insane? We said we were kidnapped, that we escaped, that men were after us. No one mentioned the creature, or the mirror, or the van. Silence was protection again. 2 days later, we went home with Ashley's parents. She didn't talk much, spent time staring out the window. At night, I heard her cry softly. I had nightmares too. Almost always the same. We were back in the car, but the driver was just a shadow. The city outside didn't exist anymore, and when I looked in the rearview mirror, I saw my own eyes bleeding. We did therapy, tried to forget, avoided the subject. The police said the investigation was closed. No evidence. They never found the van. Never ID'd the driver. The gas station was gone. No records of a station on that road. When we went back, just trees and a fallen sign. Property closed by county. Months passed. One night, Ashley called me. "Brandon, come see this." She pointed out the bedroom window. Outside, leaning on the streetlight, was Ryan. Same face, same jacket, same empty stare. And then, he smiled. For the first time. And behind him, the van. And behind the van, nothing. Just darkness. I could only say one thing to Ashley as I squeezed her hand. "Pack the bags. We have to run. Now."